Hello, this is Top Secret, and today we're going to do a video where I talk about how to change a unit that someone's already made and just kind of personalize it for whatever mod you're working on. And I also wanted to say Merry Christmas because it's that time of year and I'm looking forward to it. So I wanted to give you guys a early Christmas present 1 week early. So today we're going to be using a unit that Bakuel made. I'm not even sure how to say his name, but Bakuel. He made a ton of great units. And today we're going to be looking at this guy and using him. Okay, I already used a lot of Bakuel's units for some of my mod for Middle-earth. He makes really good units, and though we haven't seen him in a while, but he made a bunch of Russian style units, and I use recolored versions of those for Dale. So we're going to talk about editing the shield. We're going to recolor his cape. This isn't really as much a specific tutorial for a specific thing as it is just me showing you kind of what I do. So let's go over here to our folder. Alright, my first tip is you always want to copy the original unit so you don't lose it. That way if you make a mistake or you need to overwrite something, that you don't lose it. Second, that you don't rename any of the DDS files, because if you rename those, you can mess up your file, your NIF file, but also these will remind you if you forgot to put in the credits. You're like, where did that unit come from? Bakuel especially names all of his DDS files specifically, so I know which ones came from him. Alright, so because they have a certain type. Alright, so what we're going to do is the theme for the city-state of Dale, and later it becomes the Empire of Dale in Middle-earth, is purple. So we're going to recolor this purple. But then we're also going to take this shield and we're going to redo it. Now I'll show you a few things that I'm not doing because I wanted to help Tan. He requested some how to do patterns and stuff as well. So we'll do that, but then we'll also put what I want to put on it, which is we're going to put a dragon on it, not the lion. Okay, I mean this is kind of like a dragon lion, but we want the Dale dragon. So first, looking at this chainmail, it's fine. None of the colors I really need to change. He looks exactly like someone from, I think, Middle-earth would, except this red robe, we want it purple because Dale is purple in my mod. So what I'm going to do is and I'm making a Dale heavy infantry. I'm going to choose the proper file. Okay, gloss is just like the shininess. So we're going to choose this file first so that we can edit his robe. Actually, I think his robe might be in the shield file, which means we can just do this all in one file. So, let me show you how to find that. Okay, click on the object you want to recolor or edit. Go to NI Try Shape. NI Texturing Property. Again, to get this to appear over here, press F2. And then it will tell you the file name under here. And ignore the gloss one because we don't need that. Okay, so it's actually the shield one. So we can just do this all in one file. Yup. Alright, sweet. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First thing I do is use fuzzy select. It lets me select most of what I want quickly. Then I just go to rectangle select up here and press add. Again, if you haven't seen my GIMP basics tutorial, this is going to be kind of confusing, but go watch that if you're lost. Alright, now we're going to use Desaturate. What Desaturate does is it makes it gray so that you can recolor it easy. And I always choose the lightest one unless I want it specifically darker. And it's easy to make things darker, but it's hard to keep the right amount of light. So choose the one that keeps all the pixels like the right light from each other. Okay, now go to colors and click Colorize. Now we can change this to what we want. I want a nice purple color. So see over here's red at 360 because it's kind of like a circle, 360 degrees of color. All right, and we're gonna choose right. It's too red. Right there. We'll add some more purple to it. So let me explain what these do. U is the color. Saturation is how much of the color. And lightness is how light or dark the color is. And we're going to go right there. Okay, now you just press Shift Control E or Export As. You can also just click Overwrite. And it overwrites it. Alright, now let me show you a cool trick. If you press Alt X, see File, Alt X, it reloads the XML and the NIF. Don't do this if you made changes to the actual file, because it will overwrite them. So now he has a purple robe, which is exactly what we wanted. I'm getting work done and giving you a tutorial. How about that? Alright, and then now we're going to look at his shield, which is going to be more difficult. First, what we're going to do is duplicate this and play around with drawing stuff on the shield first. Actually, not yet. We're going to... Hold on. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Now, we have to get rid of this lion, but we want it to be red underneath so that if my symbol I put on it is a different shape, that it's not messed up. So we're going to go to clone. You want to reduce your clone tool to like 8, maybe. All right. Oh, I have to unselect this. Okay, if you ever, like, you're trying to click somewhere and nothing's happening, you may still have a selection up. Okay. So, I don't usually do a selection, but if you want, you can select just the red part to prevent yourself from, like, overriding the outside of the shield. I think the gold will look good for our shield. So, we're going to use clone, and don't clone all the same parts, or it will just look like you clone the same parts. Just move around. It doesn't take, like I'm not super Mr. Skilled at artistic stuff like this. What you really want to do is just override it completely so that it gets fixed, and you'll notice sometimes it like doesn't look like the right amount of darkness. So you just go around here. Hold on. Let me see here. Oh, I'm using heal. That's why this is... Okay. So this is what not to do. Alright? Heal changes the pattern without changing the color. I was like super confused. I thought I had opacity on or something. What you want is clone right here. Yes, now this is looking right. Yeah, much better. Alright, what you want... Don't worry so much about the pattern. There's a way to fix that relatively easy. But you want the right shades. So like down here, notice it's darker than it is like right here in the middle. And then as you move up, things get brighter. And there's these... Okay, so when you clone and you don't move the mouse around, it creates like this similar pattern where you see dot, there's a dot there, there's a dot there, wherever you clicked. But we can fix that at the end. Right now, we just want to cover up the lion by clicking around just in different places that have similar shades to what we want. Like, see this? This is just a hard break. That's not what we want. So we'll do this, and it looks a little better. There's a way to fix that too. Also, we'll just get rid of this lighter color in the middle. That will make our lives easier. All right, here's a middle color that kind of fades in. Just click around. Don't really use the same spot. Got this murky stuff where I accidentally used heal. So we want to get this all to red. Alright. Now, you can use smudge. You have to be careful. But it will mix the colors up for you. But it destroys the pattern. So I use this to mix the colors properly. Alright, and see, this is just too dark right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to clone this sort of lighter part. Whoops. Alright, so this looks like a mess. Okay, so we're going to fix it. So now we're going to use heal. And see this shield over here? So this shield will, whoops, I went too fast. This shield will give us the kind of wooden streaks we want, because this is what heal's for, okay? Clone gives us the right colors. It gives us the right shades and reds and stuff. Heal will change the shades to make it look like, whoops, a wooden pattern that we need, and kind of make it look better. Now, last trick is this. Notice how we have the wood pattern now, because I used heal. And what heal does is it's copying this pattern right here, but not changing the color, which is what you're supposed to use it for, not what I was using for earlier. All right. Then, but you'll notice that these are kind of speckled and these aren't. If you select the part that's like not really speckled properly, there's a filter. It's under noise. I'm pretty sure it's Hsv Noise. Now you want to tone things down. Okay. Reduce the U so it doesn't change the U, because you don't want to change the color. And what it'll do is it'll automatically speckle it. So you just go to, again, filters, noise, Hsv Noise. Once you've done it, if you want to do it again, and see it kind of mixes up it provides noise in the pattern, but it kind of mixes up the pixels and makes it look more natural. If that makes sense. This is one of the best things I found to like fix it and make it look more natural. Okay, so we're going to save our work so far. Now I'm going to show you how to play around with, hold on, Control D, with patterns on here, which is going to overwrite some of our work, but I wanted to get that part done. So let's select that. So if you're trying to select something and it just starts selecting like everything with the fuzzy select, you just got to do it this way. And it's a headache, but it works, I guess. Try and cut it tight, and we won't worry that much because this is just a practice one. I'm keeping this color and this. The best thing to do is to find a shield, and Bakuel has so many shields, that is similar in pattern to what you want. Because if you don't, also, like, maybe you'll find a wooden shield that kind of looks like this, and you want to change another shield to look wooden. Again, clone the colors you want, and then heal to get the pattern, and then Hsv Noise to make it look right. And now it looks right. Alright, so anyway, what you can do is there's multiple things you can do to get shapes, okay? One is you can draw the shape. So if you want a square, you can change fixed aspect ratio and do 1:1. And then this will give you a selection of a square. So if I want to make a square in here, I just draw a selection that's a square. Boom, now I can put a square in. But if you want to do other things, you can use filters and press render. And Gfig is this cool little tool, which I didn't tell you about before because it's really complicated and I'm not totally great at it, that lets you create different types of shapes. So this is the side. You can do no stroke, and no stroke will just create, hold on. Oh wait, no, right here. Now, it bases it, I'm pretty sure, on the size of your brush. So hold on, let me reduce this down to 1. So Gfig does this. You can draw lines. Some of them are too big. Okay? So what I recommend is one of two things. Okay? Because if you don't like draw it big enough, it won't draw a square or whatever. And at 128 pixels, that's like almost nothing. So what I recommend is press new. Get like something really big. Draw it on here and then reduce the size. So for example, if I want to put a triangle in there, let's do Gfig we're going to use this. This is the Polygon Drawer. You can put as many sides as you want. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's also, you can draw circles and everything. So let's draw a circle, for example. Draw a circle. So see, now it kind of looks right, but it's because there's more pixels. If you have not enough pixels, it's not going to work. We need to put this like right in the middle. Okay, if you want to fill it in, you can use color fill. Just use black if you want this. Or you can use a different color if you want a different color, and it will fill it in with a different color. And then once you get what you want, whoops, helps if you press confirm. Let's see. There, you press close. If you press cancel, it will kill all of your work. Okay. So you can draw whatever you want with like nice little handy tools. Whatever you want to do. We're going to draw a little circle here and use it. Press close. Okay. Now, select it. Oh, I still have fixed aspect ratio on. We're going to use crop. Okay. Crop right here. Okay. Press image, scale image, so you can scale it to the size you want. Make sure we're, hold on. Alright, now let's lock it. Alright, let's scale it to, just like sometimes you have to guess. Like, I'm going to say 28. Okay. Now, you want to get rid of the white spaces, so do this. Select the white. Hold on, we'll use... So you want to add an alpha channel. Let's talk about this, transparency. So it has an alpha channel. Press color to alpha. We'll use white. Whoops. I think I pressed the wrong thing. Image, layer, transparency, color to alpha. From white to alpha. All right, there we go. Then you can use, if you want it to be exactly the size, press zealous crop, and it will crop off anything that doesn't have pixels in it. All right, now press Control X and Control V, and you can take whatever you drew in the other window and put it on here. So now we have a handy little circle. All right, so for example, we'll just show you on the real thing, and then I'll get rid of it. Export. So now it's a wooden shield with a circle in the middle. But you can do like whatever you want. So, whoa, don't do that. Cancel. So, back. Okay, here we go. There's a couple other things you can do. Render is handy for other things like pattern. Like you can do a checkerboard pattern. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff you can play around with here. I found Gfig the most useful. If you want like a different pattern, my advice is like a complex pattern like metallic or stripes or whatever, and you don't want to use the tools GIMP already has under filters render, then my advice is simply to find a pattern that looks like what you want online. You can change the color of it using our method of Desaturate and Colorize, and if you need to, and then cut out a piece, scale it down if you need to, like we did using image scale image. You can get rid of that alpha background behind it if you needed a certain shape, or you can draw a, place where you want to put it into, and it'll just put it into there. Like, for example, let me show that, and then we'll be done. Oh, let's Control Y. Oh, whatever. I think we still have the circle. Yes, we do. Perfect. Okay, let's say you wanted to put a half circle in, but you only had a circle. Select a part. Now press Control V. Wait. Well, it's not doing Control Z for some reason. Anyway. Once you select it, you can place the selection. You can use the select tool to like crop off some. And then it will just kill. So you see what I'm saying? So you have this circle right here, and we're going to paste it in somewhere. Let's use over here, since this one apparently lets me do Control Z and the other one doesn't. Like, let's say I want a half circle. You put it here. Whoops. While it's still in selection mode, use rectangle select, and you can crop off parts you don't want. And now it only used that part of what you selected. So there's all sorts of like little tricks you can do. I haven't shown you like all of them, but that would take forever. But I hope that helps you like use a new page, go to Gfig, and just draw. You can draw what you want. There's also like, you can draw a checkerboard. It'll only draw it in the selection too. So delete everything. Repeat checkerboard. Boom, you have a checkerboard. And etc. Okay, so that's kind of what you can do with patterns. If you need more of what you can do, let me know, but also just copy like patterns. There's all sorts of things, like you can create wacky patterns with diffraction and stuff. Oh wow, my computer can't. Okay, see, it's loading down here. It's taking forever. My computer is not the graphics machine of the century, FYI. So you can create like anything you want pretty much. Some things are more difficult. And again, just find a pattern online, fiddle around with it, and then use it for what you need. And alpha is your friend because it lets you create like holes and see the background behind it. All right, so now let's just go over real quick putting the dragon on this. And I'm going to use this same color of shield because I think it contrasts nicely with the purple. So I'm going to go to Middle Earth. In here I have, and we've been over how to make flags, I have my flag decal. Okay? My flag decal for Dale is a dragon. So we're going to open it up. Step number 1 is duplicate it, because you do not want to kill your original. So press Control D. Whoops. Hold on. Zoom. Struggling. Here we go. So here's my dragon, right? Oh wait. Let's see. Yeah, I got it. If I edited it, I kept an original that's not squished. Okay, remember when I told you, if you've seen the flag one, some of them are squished? Well, this one I don't think I ever edited. It'll look fine. Okay, so here's what we want to do. I don't want it to be white, I want it to be purple. So since it's already desaturated, I'm going to press Colorize. Oh wait, no, hold on. Here's what we're going to do. Select this. Use bucket fill. This is one of the ways I told you you could change the colors of things. And make sure you do not hit fill similar colors, press fill hole selection. So see, that kind of like messes with it. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, we need to, okay, invert the color of it. Then we'll desaturate it. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Because usually I use a white one. I'm too used to making this with Gondor, and you just need a white tree. Invert the color by selecting it. Now what we're going to do is use the Dodge Burn tool to, this makes things lighter. Alright, and then once it's gray, we should be able to colorize it the way we want. Yes. Okay, so you can use presets, and it will use the numbers you used before. So this is a similar purple. Now, if your darkness of your original image was different, it will be different. So, like, for example, the gray in the original cape was different than the gray I had right here by using invert and then dodge to make it. So it's a slightly different shade, but that's okay. It's a similar shade, and that's all we care about. All right, now we're going to scale to say 40 pixels. That's a guess. Okay. It's a little bit too small, actually. I want it bigger. Scale to 60 pixels. That might be too big, but we'll find out. Because it's not really making the whole thing 60. Okay, so now we have a dragon. Now, how do you make it look like it's embedded in the shield instead of just pasted on the shield? First off, when it's against this background, it's not dark enough. So we're going to make it darker by using, hold on, burn midtones. There we go. That's better. Okay, so it just barely fits. Now, how do you make it feel right? Okay, go to blur, and you have to get a feel for like how much blur you want. Make your size pretty small, like I like 7, and just blur the edges a little bit. And what that does is it kind of mixes the pixels in just a little and makes them, and you could also use smudge if you reduce the rate down real low, and it kind of makes it look more natural. I mean, it's so small in game that it doesn't really matter. That's just his hand sticking through right there. It fixes in the animation, but look at that. So now we have a dragon on our shield instead of a lion. You got the wood background, and you may notice things like this where it's just too dark. So we're going to use clone, lighten it up a little, and we're going to heal again. Whoops, let's use this. Right there. So, see, sometimes it takes like multiple things. It takes a while to really get it just right the way you want it. But once you get it right, then you should be happy. Let's see if that changes it any. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Now, if I'm looking at this, being the nitpicky person I am, I notice this blurred too much. So I just go up here and kind of like override those pixels. It's better, but again, what the problem is, all these colors are too similar. So what we're going to do is we're going to use good old Hsv Noise. Yeah, it's still what I like. And you can repeat it a couple times to really mix up those pixels. You can raise those values and they affect the things I told you about earlier. For example, I'm not sure what holdness does. I'm just going to be honest. But you will change the color slightly. You can change the saturation and the values more, and it will change it more. And then once you've done it, you can just press repeat or just Control F, and it will just do it for you. Okay, so, I mean, is that super nitpicky? Yes, but you better get used to it. All right. So that's helped a little. Hold on. Did we export? Oh, hold on. Export to. Okay, there we go. And see, I mean, if it's still just like too blurry, if you just can't get it to cooperate with you, like me apparently, just go down here and copy some stuff up in there. And then it's too dark, so we're going to use this. Smudge it a little bit. Alright, I'm going to call that good as soon as, you know, you be as picky as you need to. It's a small shield. Is anyone really going to notice? Probably not. But it's darker and lighter up here. so that's fine with me. And the lighting also, once you put the gloss on, sometimes it just looks fine anyway. But I'm happy with it, so there we go. Now I'm going to save this guy as a Dale Heavy Infantry, and I'm going to tack yet another thing on from Bakuel to my mod. And voila, there we have it. So I hope you have a great Christmas. I hope that taught you something about creating units, and really less creating units and just playing around in GIMP. So I will catch you after Christmas.